Hello YouTube. Not long ago I made a video about very unusual, strange, maybe uncanny events of the year 1846. Well, today I want to go to 1847 and connect it with a few other years, but 1847 is primarily the period I'm interested in today. And of particular interest is the publication in the Moscow City Bulletin. I'll just provide English language names to make it shorter. In the year 1847, the newspaper reprinted an article from the Mogilov Provincial Gazette, which described a rare phenomenon. On July 14 of that year in Mogilov and its surroundings, a large four-pointed, bright, fiery cross was visible on the southwestern side of the horizon, near the moon. The moon in its first quarter appeared in its usual form and color, being in the center of the cross. The phenomenon began around 10 o'clock in the evening and lasted until 3 o'clock in the morning. At first, the cross was small and pale in color. Then it increased and took on a red fiery hue, which changed several times. In the corners connecting the upper part of the cross with the diameter above the moon, rays of the same color were visible, but somewhat paler. The lower part of the cross was much longer than the upper one. This phenomenon was observed by many urban and rural residents, and the recording was made from the words of the most reliable witness, a villager, who observed it not only himself, but also in the presence of many other witnesses. Analyzing the Mogilov phenomenon from the perspective of modern ufology, some researchers noted several important points. Firstly, the cruciform object observed for 5 hours was most likely a technical device, not a divine sign. The technogenic or technological nature of the cross is evidenced by its hovering in near-Earth orbit between the moon and the Earth for a long time. No natural object could remain stationary for 5 hours despite gravity. The change in color from pale to fiery red indicates the intensive operation of the engines of this spacecraft, keeping it in orbit. Less than 20 years have passed, and a strange cross had appeared in the sky over Russia again. I should say over the Russian Empire. In the Stavropol Provincial Gazette for the year 1855, a note was published about an incredible meteor that was observed in the provincial city of Stavropol on December the 10th. At 5 p.m., the moon rose, and although there were cirrus clouds in the sky, the brilliance of its rays did not decrease. 3/4 of an hour after that, a cross was formed, with the moon in the center. This phenomenon remained for about an hour, and then reddish reflections appeared on both sides of the moon, which formed a circle with a diameter of up to 3 sazhen. The meteor remained unchanged at night and disappeared only at dawn. If someone thinks that this is just a halo, then it is worth remembering that people have been faced with the halo phenomenon for hundreds of years, and for them it was in the order of things. However, the phenomenon described in the article was something completely different. In the city of Balashov, Saratov province, the visit of a strange object looked different. On the night of October 12 to 13, 1847, with a clear sky, 4 pillars of fire with blue and white shades formed on the northeastern side of the horizon, which remained visible for about 2 hours. Then it became dark in their place, and after a few minutes, the sky cleared again. According to historical records, on October 16, 1848, the Balashov Zemstvo territorial police officer sent a memo to the local authorities describing another phenomenon. At 9 p.m., the sky was illuminated by bright lightning with thunderclaps that were repeated up to 10 times. In the middle of the sky in the north, a blood fire spot appeared with the size of about 200 sazhen. That's about 420 meters, and sazhen is an old Russian measurement term. I mentioned it in other videos too. Anyway, to continue, without reflecting light on surrounding objects, there were stars and white stripes on this spot. On this spot, so to say, on this entity. After half an hour, the spot spread and leaning to the northwest took on an oblong shape and a pinkish color. Then the entity split into several dozen cone-shaped pillars touching the horizon and took on a dark red color. Historians and reputable researchers believe that if you look at these descriptions from the point of view of modern technological progress, the phenomenon described by Balashov, territorial police officer, resembles the takeoff of a modern rocket. The cone-shaped pillars are jets of incandescent gas escaping from the nozzles, and the blood-red spot or entity is the activation of the second stage of the launch vehicle to accelerate the aircraft and lift it off the ground. The shape of the pillars expanding at the top is due to atmospheric fluctuations and the movement of the spacecraft itself. These two mysterious phenomena that occurred in the area of the city of Balashov with the interval of 1 year and recorded by the authorities at the time, according to historical archives, allow us to draw an important conclusion. It is possible that for as long as 12 months, there were some pilots of this aircraft or spacecraft in the Saratov province. Indeed, in October 1847, the rocket, judging by the descriptions, landed, and in October 1848, it took off. This suggests that it stayed on Earth during all this time. Another interesting episode, which has also been preserved in historical archives, tells us that around the same period, unusual wanderers appeared in the Saratov province, looking like old men with yellow-green faces and without beards, which is not how males, especially the wanderers or straniki, looked at the time. These so-called wanderers, well, they wandered through the villages, not asking for alms or money, anything like that, and muttering something unintelligible. Later, they suddenly disappeared, which aroused the suspicions of the local authorities, but they could not be verified. However, it is worth noting once again that apparently there are records of these mysterious elderly wanderers who have been preserved in the imperial archives. This is what I wanted to let you know today about the year 1847. I am positive that other interesting events took place around the world, but I want to limit myself now to the Eurasia, to the Russian Empire. And I'll continue bringing you stories from the 19th century, even from the earlier times, because some events took place in the early 19th century which are still inexplicable. And as you look at my videos, you will understand. I want to thank you for your attention to my work, for your support, those who support me. And if you can do so, please do. You'll find the links in the description to this video. Please like my videos, please tell others about my work, and subscribe to my channel.